hey, I'm just going to record a little ending that can be put on, because completely my fault. I had misread the talk and planned too much to fit in, and I would have liked to spend more time on the more roguelike relevant writings from Jack Barnes, even though the wizard stuff is fun. So we were introduced to this wizard, Voynod, and he displayed a small silver ring. He signalled Haxt. Touch this with your tongue, press it to your forehead, then look through. I see a procession, exclaimed Haxt. Men and women by the hundreds and thousands marching past. My mother and my father walked before, then my grandparents. But who are the others? Your ancestors, declared Voynod, each in his characteristic costume, back to the primordial homuncule from which all of us are derived. He retrieved the ring, and reaching into his pouch, brought forth a dull blue and green gem. Watch now as I fling this jewel into the Scamander, which is the river that they're sailing on. And he tossed the gem off to the side. They're at this point on a boat, on a river. So, I'm just reading these passages without context. But now you know. He tosses it over the side of the boat. It flickered through the air and splashed into the dark water. Now I merely hold forth my palm, and the gem returns. And indeed, as the company watched, there was a wet sparkle across the firelight, and upon Voynod's palm the rest of the gem. With this gem, a man need never fear penury. True, it is of no great value, but he can sell it repeatedly. And he goes forth and shows several other items like this. An erotic appurtenance, a horn that can be thrust into the mouth of a corpse, and the corpse will speak to you. A wand which instantly affixes any object to any other. So he has this wide collection of stuff, and here the main character Kugel is watching this scene with envious eyes. And then through some trickery and some bargaining, eventually he comes into possession of many of Voynod's items. He managed to make Voynod feel that this was a good deal. It wasn't, that this is the kind of story it is. So, Kugel, then later on, Kugel says, know that I am a powerful wizard. Behold, a tube which projects blue concentrate, and here a screed listing 18 phases of the Langnaker cycle, and this instrument a horn which allows information to be conveyed into the dead brain. I possess other marvels galore. And yeah, it's like he is claiming himself a wizard just because he has these magic items now. And Voynod was claiming himself a wizard, and what credibility did he have for that other than that he had this collection of magic items? Maybe the magic system here, aside from the spell casting thing, which is actually a minor part of the stories, to be honest, having magic stuff, equipment, thaumaturgical apparatus is more what defines a wizard than something innate to them, which is an interesting perspective to look at. And I just want to discuss more generally this. So these Kugel stories, they were written as novels. They're still, so the first book here, The Dying Earth, was a collection of short stories from the pulp era. But then the Kugel stories are novels, but they're still highly episodic. They're written in a similar style to the earlier stories. Just with a single character carrying through, and occasionally he'll have success in one episode and carry a magic item or something through to a later one. Often he loses everything and comes into the next episode with only the clothes on his back covered in mud. And yeah, it's a story of a roguish vagabond having ups and downs. It's like the whole story structure is so roguelike, and yeah, it's clearly a major influence on Dungeons and Dragons, and then Rogue and roguelikes this story structure is described as picaresque, as a series of short episodes with a roguish hero of low social class surviving by his wits in a corrupt society. This is the like fancy literary term for a story of this form. The original picaresque is considered to be Lazaro de Torres, a Spanish novel from the 16th century. And like it's an amazing thing about our capacities today that our you can hear today that the genre that you're working in has roots extending back to a 16th century novel, and you can just go onto Project Gutenberg and find a translation of that novel and read it tonight if you like. Like it's like it's not just that these influences reach across the centuries, but we can actually go back and look at them. And so researching for this, I went and read that novel, and like it's almost half a millennium ago that it was written, and like what it's about is this guy who like he has a boss that sucks and doesn't pay him enough for him to eat as well as he'd like to, and so he plays tricks on the boss to get rid of him. Like it's so like relevant and it's concerned. People are people. People in 500 years, much has changed, but much hasn't. And just the perspective that you can get by reading things from a very long time ago is great. And our work that we're doing today is part of this vast tapestry of human creativity stretching back into antiquity. And like I hope for people here that our work can, perhaps like compatibility issues are a challenge, but maybe in hundreds of years' time someone can be like hear that what they're doing was inspired by something we made, and even be able to go into the archives and look at that. That would be a dream. But whether that direct access is possible or not, still the work that we do is part of this continuation of the great work of mankind's immense body of art, and yeah, maybe we can make something that carries forward. Maybe we can, but also maybe we can make something that speaks to the world today, and like Lazaro del Toro's, get our work banned for being disruptive to the order of society, right? Like that, because it was critical of the hypocrisy in the church, and it showed a poor person getting the better of wealthier people who tried to abuse them. Like it was banned, and chapters of it were excised, and that's our heritage as roguelike developers, and I embrace that heritage and make things that will get you banned. Thank you.